Today you will be witnesses to the wedding of two practice-leading technologies. We generally refer to this as really cool technology. The Sunu Band is a smart mobility aid in a bracelet design that complements standard aids such as white cane or guide dog by providing the upper body protection, extending perception of objects within 13 feet or 4-meter range, and a set of GPS tools to facilitate blind mobility and navigation. Now, wedded with BlindSquare, the world's most popular waypoint navigation app, the two technologies combined yield myriad advantages for persons who are blind, deafblind, or partially sighted. 26 languages now supported in 185 countries. Join us and learn how this technology integration facilitates your daily mobility. Hear from Sunu and BlindSquare user community reports about 90% fewer accidents, improvements in moving in a line, maintaining social distancing, and more. My name is Rob Nevin. I'm the managing partner with BlindSquare. And today it's my pleasure to introduce two panelists, Marco from Sunu as their CEO and Ilka from BlindSquare as the CEO. Marco is the founder and CEO at Sunu. He has a background in robotics, 10 years of experience in hardware and IoT, and has invented 7 assistive technology devices. He was awarded Social Innovator of the Year by MIT Technology Review in 2015 and graduated from the top 1 business accelerator in Silicon Valley, Y Communicator. At Sunu, Marco is leading with the vision of engineering new horizons for human inclusion. And from Finland, Ilka Pretma, the CEO of Mipsoft, better known for the suite of products known collectively as BlindSquare, has 30 years experience in application development. His academic background is in usability, cognitive science, and product design. Ilka is lead developer of the BlindSquare application. So Marco, please carry on.
Thank you, Rob, and thank you everyone for attending the session. I'm Marco Trujillo, CEO at Sunu, just like Rob said. And at Sunu, we work every day with the vision of engineering new horizons for human inclusion. My background is in robotics. I'm a tech entrepreneur, an impact entrepreneur as well. And about Sunu, we founded it in 2014. It wasn't until 2017 that we launched the product to market in December 2017, so almost 2018. We are the proud creators of the Sunu Band and the Sunu app. And so far in these past almost 4 years, we've managed to come with these two products, built a distribution network in 20 countries with close to 6,000 users in 50 countries. Next, please. So a little bit about my story. So my background is in robotics, and I was early on sensitized by the community of disabilities in general. My best friend from childhood is deaf. So that kind of put me into getting familiar with multiple disabilities early on. So I was volunteering in 2010, I believe, in a school for blind children. I was assisting during mobility sessions, and I realized that no matter how well you train the kids, how much you care of them, the tools they have are not enough. The world is not like blind friendly enough. So they constantly have accidents, and as they grow, they become more passive and more dependent on others, unfortunately. And this was for Mexico at least. Next, please. And like I say, the tools they have are very effective at detecting floor level obstacles. Great inspiration for the community, but they are not very efficient at detecting upper body obstacles. So that's why, next please, we built the Sunu Band. And this is some of statistics that shows about that, or speaks about that, at least in the US, about more than 55% of people with blindness and low vision report having an accident at head level at least once a month. This is from a survey coming from the Department of Computer Engineering, the University of California. Next, please. So the Sunu Band, this is what we built. It's a complementary mobility aid. It's a smartwatch, basically a band. So it has a couple buttons on one side. It has a sliding touchpad to interact with it with flicks and touches and taps. And it has a sonar sensor on one end. So you wear like a watch and it starts detecting obstacles. Next, please. So the way it works, it basically sends sound waves. The sound waves bounce back from objects, and it vibrates to indicate the object's proximity, hardness, and size. So it complements the cane. It doesn't detect obstacles at floor level. It detects obstacles from your knees or waist up ahead, up to your head, and as far as 5 meters away. So way beyond the cane's range. Next, please. And we also built an app. So the Sunu app is a complement or an extension of the Sunu Band itself. So it allows you to access some navigate features on the go, because all the information of the Sunu Band is through vibration feedback. But the Sunu app has the capacity of enabling voice feedback. So through voice feedback, you can know where you are, what street you're crossing, and more information as you walk. And then you also can customize the way the Sunu Band works, like adjusting the range or adjusting the sonar sensor to adapt to the situation they're currently in. And you can also access other training guides from the app as well. Next one, please. So altogether, the Sunu Band provides a real-time sonar sensing that provides you that safety in the moment that you need. And the app provides you on-the-go GPS assistance. So the two together provide you a full autonomous navigation. Next one, please. So this is some sort of an example of how this works. So there's a person walking. He has a white cane in one hand and the Sunu Band on the other. So while the cane is sweeping side to side, clearing out the floor, the Sunu Band is pointing at the front. It is sensing a tree that is like probably 3 or 4 meters away, and the person is starting to feel in those vibrations. So he can potentially aim the Sunu Band to one side just by turning the wrist to the other side. I find what's the way out of the situation. And in the moment, like this is happening in real time through vibrations, so very sensitive. The Sunu Band can catch an obstacle or is sensing obstacles like 30 times per second, so as fast as the human eye. So in the meantime, the Sunu app is providing information, letting the user know which streets they are walking. Next one, please. And something that's pretty cool about the Sunu Band is that there's no other technology that provides this level of obstacle detection. So the Sunu Band can inform you of where the obstacle is, how far, but it can also tell you how hard it is. So for instance, you can distinguish from a car or a person or a bush. And then it can also tell you the shape of it. So as you scan through it, you can feel how the vibrations change in real time, giving you an idea of the shape of the objects. Again, everything with vibrations in real time. So it's a new language. It's basically a sixth sense. Next, please. It has very interesting applications. So for instance, you can use it with a sighted guide. So if the guide is holding, sometimes new sighted guides can miscalculate the space when moving around with you. So the Sunu Band can provide that protection. You just need to wear it in the hand that is free and it's not holding the sighted guide. So you can scan around, make sure you have a proper distance to walls or through gaps, for example. You can use it for trailing. This is one of the features that users like the most. Basically, you can feel how the person in front of you in a line is moving forward as he advances, because the vibrations tend to go, the vibrations decrease as the person moves away, and then as you reach out again, the vibrations increase once again. And this is also very effective for social distancing, because you can, keep a specific amount vibration rate every time you detect a person. So make sure you don't go beyond that limit of safety distance. You can use it for shorelining. So basically, like if you're walking and there's a wall to your side or a building to your side, you can be scanning with your Sunu Band with time to time to make sure that you have a proper distance to that wall, making sure that you walk in a straight line, for example. Gap finding, that's another cool thing that you can do with the Sunu Band. It's pretty much the one that people use the most. So it's like finding your way out. So you're walking with the Sunu Band. You usually have the Sunu Band pointing forward, and then you start feeling an obstacle that is in front of you. So in that moment, you scan around and you'll find your way out. You'll find a couple gaps which are directions you can change your way to avoid that obstacle, and then walk in that direction you find. It is also very precise, like for small gaps, like in a very crowded situation, like in the subway or bus station. You can adjust the range and the angle of the sonar to detect like very thin spaces you can walk through, or find, for example, an open seat in the bus. Some of the things that users report using. And finally, like exploring. Some of the cool things about a Sunu Band is like, as you progress with it, you start feeling more confident, more relaxed when you're walking, because you are overall you have an enhanced perception of how's your space around you. So why not enjoying the ride, detecting the bushes around, detecting the walls, look, just pretty much be more aware of what's around you, and enjoying that moment, basically. Of course, all of this, there are guides for this. So it's not like you put it on and it magically happens. Like it's a sixth sense, of course. So you need to be patient and training. But we have a Sunu Academy app within the app that teaches step by step, from the moment you purchase a product until you become a master in the most advanced modes of the sonar. Next, please. So during COVID, we've been very active. We realized this situation, the new regulations, was very dramatic, very problematic for most part of the community. So we started a podcast, talking with many inspirational people like Dan Berlin, a marathon runner who's blind. We also got mentioned by Forbes, the magazine, who write an article about Sunu and how it was effective for keeping social distancing for the blind. We also appear on TV at the Meet the Drapers, so it's more like an entrepreneurial or more like a Shark Tank kind of program. But beyond that, like there's many other authorities that have been speaking about Sunu in the past, like the National Federation of the Blind, who write a blog post about us, Perkins, who actually did a pilot with their students. And we have many other partners around the globe, like Vision Australia, World Access for the Blind, who's Daniel Kish is one of our mentors. He also helped us in the development of the training guides. So just as a reference, Daniel Kish, in case you don't know it, he's the first blind person to be certified to be an orientation and mobility specialist. He needed to win a court in the US or against the US government to earn that title. And many other blind O&Ms follow after him. So he's really an inspiration in the field. And Washington Post and many others. Next one, please. Well, the best part of this is that it actually works. So our users report 90% less accidents. We have many influencers talking about the Sunu Band, explaining how it changed their perception, it changed their lives. Some users report it has become some sort of an extension of themselves. And I guess this is pretty natural. If you think about the cane, many people think of it as an extension of themselves, touching the ground a few steps ahead. So the Sunu Band is pretty much the same, another extension of yourself. So a lot of happy customers. This is something we're very proud about. Next one, please. So I'm actually going to show a video here with a compilation of some testimonials. It's a tool that will help people with blindness and low vision to move around safely.
This is Main Avenue.
Be more aware of what's around them.
Coffee shop.
Using echolocation, the Sunu Band can detect obstacles up to 16 feet away. Then haptic vibrations help improve the user's awareness and perception of the obstacles that are within the environment, allowing them to safely navigate around the obstacles, reducing accidents. So the results have been amazing. Our users tell us that the Sunu Band helps reduce accidents by 90%. It's improving their self-confidence and reducing the anxiety when they're walking about.
What's your little gift you've got for the creators and producers of Sunu Band?
I would like to sing you guys a song so that way I can let you know how much I appreciate the Sunu Band.
To just sort of feel more independent and just have that extra feeling of confidence when I'm out navigating by myself.
Van a ver que van a sentirse más seguros.
I miei complimenti perché sono persone veramente in gamba, dei grandissimi professionisti.
It's been great not walking into walls anymore, man. Like I walk into so many walls, but not anymore.
Very important to me. It's good in my life.
So once again, Sunu Band to the rescue.
Y voy a estar más seguro.
And I've actually found that it's made me more confident to get out and about, be it either with my guide dog or with my long cane.
So I'm very appreciative of this product and I'm going to continue to use it.
Yo creo que mi cara lo dice todo.
So that way I can walk around day and night and oh, my world is so much safer.
It's a tool that will help people with blindness and low vision to move around. Okay. Well, that's some of the testimonies that we get, something we're really proud about. And now I'm going to tell you more about the user experience, like what's really cool about the Sunu Band, what all our users say about it. And one of the things that stand out is the fact that it's very discreet. So the Sunu Band, you don't need to do any weird movements with your hand to feel the obstacles, to detect the obstacles. You basically lay down your hand in your natural position as you walk. And in that position, the sonar is pointing forward and catching obstacles. You want to scan to your sides, you simply do a little turn with your wrist. And that's it. Like you can detect everything from your wrist in a very natural movement in real time. The other cool thing is that it's not invasive because it is vibrations. Sometimes, you know, when you're walking, you have to be focused on the environment, like listening the steps of people around you, the cars, the traffic. Like there's usually a lot of noise, a lot of things you have to compute from your hearing. So having a tool that gives you information in a tactile way, it's not invasive to your ears, is very comfortable, as it doesn't invade you. And additionally, as you walk, the Sunu Band adapts to many situations. It comes with a set of presets, that's how we call them. So they're basically like sonar configurations for different situations, like indoor spaces, outdoor spaces, and we have another for gap finding. You can build your own as well. As you have a better understanding and grasp of how the sonar works, you can adjust that to multiple situations according to your daily living. So that's one of the coolest things. Like it's very discreet, it's not invasive, and it has multiple ways of helping you. Next one, please. Another cool thing about it, and this is pretty much another one that users really enjoy, is the fact that you don't have to interact with your phone. You can access all your GPS features from the Sunu Band using the menu with the touchpad, sliding the different options. So, for instance, you can access a list of features from the touchpad, but you can also access a preferred feature. So there's probably a feature that you use the most. So most people, for example, may use the where am I feature or look around feature. So you have a quick access to it. Next one, please. And if that wasn't enough, you even have hand gestures. So this is why, like, instead of touching the Sunu Band, clicking the buttons on the touchpad, you can trigger these functions just by doing gestures like taps against your thigh with a single hand. So you don't even use your other hand. You just tap twice and start the sonar, or do a different gesture but similar and trigger your preferred feature. We currently support two gestures for two features, one for the sonar and another for the one that you like the most. And we are currently developing a third one. Next one, please. What else is cool? Well, this is on another one that we enjoyed a lot. I think you guys are gonna appreciate it. It's cool tech. So basically, a finger pointing feature. So where you point, you get information. So if you have the app, you have to point with the app, and then you'll get like the places in that direction, the streets in that direction, or the cardinal direction, depending on the feature that you trigger, either the compass, a street pointer, or place pointer. But if you have the Sunu Band, you don't need to point with your phone. You simply point with your hand, or start the feature, like start the street pointer and point with your hand. And in the direction you point, you get immediate voice feedback telling you what's the street you are pointing towards, or what's a place you're pointing towards. So that's pretty cool. Again, another thing that allows you to interact with the space on the go with no hesitation, with no impediment of taking your phone or doing something else. Just point and you get the information that you're asking for. Next one, please. And well, that's another cool tech here is the phone finder. So phone finder is basically you hold the button down, Sunu Band, and your phone start whistling or ringing. This is great. I know most people are good at keeping your phones, but I know there's other people who tend to lose your phone. I'm one of those, by the way. So having a quick access to find your phone is always useful. And the other is haptic watch. So haptic is basically a tactile watch, a vibratory watch. So it's a more convenient, more discreet way to tell the time. You simply ask the time, the Sunu Band with a couple taps, and then it vibrates to inform you what's the hour and what's the minutes. So it's kind of a different language, so you need to learn it. But it's pretty much like learning analog in watch. So it doesn't take time. It's probably 5 minutes and you got it. Next one, please. And again, something we have been very mindful about is the level of training that it's required in order to, absorb all and understand all these many functionalities that the Sunu Band has. Especially because the product has been evolving a lot through updates and so on. So we have interactive guides through the app, but we also have online tutorials. And we love to do training webinars as well, especially with organizations. Sometimes we make groups together and train the staff and train also anyone who want to attend the meeting. Next one, please. Now, let me tell you something cool for orientation and mobility specialists. So we also thought about you guys, and we know how important you are in the process of developing independence in someone who recently got blind or who wants to become more independent. So we built this tool that allows you to feel in real time the feedback that your trainee is feeling. So you can have a more empathetic training. You can feel exactly what they're feeling and know what could be failing, and provide the advice that is required. You can also control how the Sunu Band works, so you can adjust the settings of the Sunu Band in your own band. And then whenever you feel comfortable with them, if you think that that's gonna serve your trainee, then you can, with a single click in the app, transfer this new configuration to your trainee or your student. Then your trainee can experiment the same in real time. So it's a very quick way to provide, and also very friendly in terms of social distancing, as you don't need to be holding or touching your student's phone or band. And you can also control the amount of features that your student is exposed to from the Tether application. So if you don't want a lot of features to be available for your user because you want them to focus on a single thing, you can do that from the Tether application. Next one, please. And well, what's more exciting is that we recently partnered with BlindSquare. It's pretty much the reason why we're here. So we, in the past years, we have many discussions, Rob and I, and Ilka, and we realize that we have very similar visions. We understand that the problem or the customer is pretty large. There's a lot of applications, a lot of companies, and we are only solving like a piece of the problem, basically. So we say, like, why not partnering, doing a partnership that makes sense? So I'm very happy to say that we are very similar, like BlindSquare and Sunu. We have very similar visions, understanding of the users. So this collaboration couldn't be possible if they've been this open to collaborate in this way. So for talking more about how BlindSquare application works with Sunu Band, I'll send this to Ilka, but in a nutshell, it basically enables a user to use BlindSquare from the Sunu Band. So Ilka.
Yes, thank you, Marco. And I see there is a couple of questions already, and Rob will take all those questions after. My name is Ilkka Pirttimaa, and I'm CEO of Nipsoft. It's company in Finland, and I'm also developer of BlindSquare. And for BlindSquare, we have been always saying that we are pioneering accessible navigation. What it means, it means that I think we need to research this subject from all viewpoints. And Robbie, if you can extend to next. So we are pioneering indoors and outdoors. We started from GPS, outdoor navigation, and instead of traditional point-to-point navigation, we also describe environment. What's on your left, what's on your right, what are the street numbers, what is the next intersection, post offices next to you. Then when you come to bus stop, we get public transportation information. We know where it is going. We know what bus is coming, etc. Not in all countries. This is then related to data that is available for us. But then indoor, we know that when GPS stops working, you need something more. So we have capabilities of implementing indoor navigation, etc. But Rob, let's take next one. And I will shortly describe what BlindSquare itself is. So it is an app running on a smartphone, and it utilizes, I would say, most of the sensors on the phone. So we know GPS, we know compass, we know nearby beacons with Bluetooth, we know how do you call barometer? We read barometer, so we know your height in a building, etc. A lot of information is coming from those devices nowadays. Then we tap into a lot of data sources. So it can be OpenStreetMap for streets, Foursquare for places, and also popularity of places, restaurant menus. We communicate with Uber, so make it easy to order Uber. We provide what would it be the price to get Uber, how fast you will get it. So making it easy to use such applications, etc. And then with some BlindSquare magic, we turn all this into spoken instructions. So we support 26 languages on device. So whatever language you prefer, we provide instructions of your surroundings. And then next. And we know that there is no technology that can replace cane or guide dog or good mobility skills. But we also believe that new cool digital tools can enhance possibilities and make life easier and more safe. So we see BlindSquare as a tool, and you need to learn to use it. And you will probably need a lot of more tools. And Robert, let's take the next slide. So our goal has always been to helping whole journey from home sofa to, for example, the museum. And when I say home sofa, we know the need for example, simulations. You need to be able to simulate your future locations and see what services are available, how buses are going, when they are coming, where they're coming, etc. So we can turn all the digital information into spoken instructions, but obstacle detection and finding a way in last 5 meters is something that can be made much better with tools like Sunu Band. So that is one of the reasons we started to work together. Another aspect that relates to Sunu Band also is that we are keenly developing more ways of interacting with BlindSquare. So we know that when you have phone in your pocket and it describes things you want to hear, you can set filters so you will hear only those things that you are interested of. But then, for example, if you are in a situation that you need to store your current location, save point of interest, do you need to take phone out? It might be really cold weather. You don't want to do that. So what you can do instead of that? We do have also, for example, support for Apple Watch, but not all does have that or want to get one. So now with Sunu Band, that was the first things we started to build was to use Sunu Band as a remote for BlindSquare. So you don't need to take BlindSquare or your phone out of your pocket. You just use your Sunu Band to activate some BlindSquare features on your wrist. And the next. I think we are ready to take questions now. Rob, are you there?
Of course I'm muted. just before we go to questions, I'd like to turn it back to Marco and ask if there's anything else that may have come to mind during Ilka's presentation that you'd like to bring up. Failing that, I'll go ahead to questions from the panel and from the audience.
Sorry, Rob, I didn't hear you entirely, but it was something about presentation of Ilka, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna carry on. Okay. Marco, can you open the chat window too? There's a few questions that are being posed in Spanish. So you, my Spanish speaking friend, sure, maybe can address those as I go through them. But okay. So scan ahead, but I'm going to start with a question from John Heilbrunn. The interesting thing here, a great compliment, is the price. It'll be up to Marco if you want to state prices. My general advice would be, let's not get into prices, but maybe get into one of the questions that is queued about, is there a thought of bundling with BlindSquare? And I'm only suggesting that because this presentation, the focus of it is cool technology. Not cool technology at a price. The fact of the discovery of a really well-constructed bundle can be discovered soon enough. But Marco, do you want to address that?
Sure, and this is also going to be a challenging question because really the price depends on where you're located, your currency and your local distributors. But I can tell the price in the US. So and the next question is pretty much about the price as well. So I imagine there's a lot of, there's like next 3 questions are around the price. So the price of the Sunu Band in a bundle is $299, but if you, and that's $299 in the US. But if you're already a BlindSquare user, then you have another additional discount on that.
And what is the bundle for $299, Marco?
So yes, that includes the Sunu Band, and it also includes BlindSquare. In case you don't have BlindSquare, this is your opportunity to get BlindSquare and Sunu at the same time at a convenient price, because it's usually $299 for the Sunu Band alone, plus I think it's $40 for BlindSquare in the US. So with the bundle, you get both at the Sunu Band price, which is great.
Yeah, we're excited about that too. It's one thing to have complementary, cool technology, but it has to be at a price point that matches or exceeds or the value exceeds the price point. There's another question saying, "Good afternoon, thank you for this opportunity. However, I'd like to know if this technology is available in Africa." There's some additional questions about cost, but to the specific of, is it available in Yemen? Is it available in Africa? And if so, what countries or regions?
Great question. And yes, we do have one distribution partner in Africa. No, I think he's from South Africa, but not aware of which cities precisely. But his name is, or the name of the distribution partner is Edit Microsystems. Edit, EDIT Microsystems. In case you want to reach out to them. And something just so you know, and again, pricing can be, you know, depending on the country, there's many things, but if you're very interested, like, please reach out. We always figure out ways to make product accessible. I mean, what we want is that you guys give us the opportunity to test us in the field and experience this new sense, this new technology.
There's a question from Lyle Williams. Welcome back, Lyle. You were in our last session too. I appreciate the questions. This one's more for fun, and we'll be brief on it, but it's addressed to Marco and Ilka. I'll address it to Marco and Ilka both. Quoting Lyle, he says, "I'm always interested in how companies come up with their names. Can you share? Also, can you comment on battery life, interface, false positives and updates? Will new hardware be required, or will they be software based?" So that's fun. Marco, you want to start?
Yes, so I start with the name, I guess. So the name Sunu comes from a Mayan word, to moon. So it's and it means it means it's hummingbird basically. But the hummingbird from the pre-Hispanic Mexican culture was symbol for willpower and grace. So we inspire the hummingbird because, you know, this is tiny little creature that is capable of doing amazing things. So this is pretty much how we see the technology and how we see our customers as well, because we know that sometimes you may be in a vulnerable situation. You probably have to do, you know, give an additional effort to do things that the rest of the people can do somehow easy. So we really appreciate that, and we think that it's a matter of being, you know, taking that willpower out, giving that extra step, taking that extra step to do things, and at the end doing that with grace, doing that, you know, like it was nothing, with gratitude, because at the end, because at the end you want to be happy, you know, you don't want to be complaining about things. So it's pretty much what inspires us, and what inspires the technology, and why the user also inspires us as well.
Very good. And I'll come back to you, Marco, for the rest. But Ilka, the origin of the name BlindSquare?
Yeah, it was 9 years ago, and I was kind of starting to learn about blindness and wanted to learn from end users, and started by just learning things by reading blog postings with blind people. And I wanted blindness to be part of the name somehow. And my main source of data was then Foursquare. That was really popular game then. That they provided API for getting that data. They had started without data, and that's why they make a game that you earn points. And from that, I could gain information of places and also popularity of places. And that was kind of key, how to know what are the important places around you. And when I launched the app that was partially named from the Foursquare and then BlindSquare, very first tweets I got was that Foursquare should sue you. They didn't understand that their license allows that, but Foursquare themselves then tweeted that this is best thing that has happened to their data. So I think it was fair name.
Perfect. And Marco, I'm just going to come back to you for the balance of last questions. Can you comment on battery life, interference, false positives, and updates, both software and hardware?
Sure, great questions, by the way. Battery life depends really much on how much you use it, how many features you have activated, but at the very least, it lasts for a full day. It usually lasts for a couple days, or maybe 3 days. And if you are not a heavy user, it's probably for a week. Then in terms of...
And that's USB rechargeable, right?
Yeah, it's rechargeable. Yeah, USB. Interference and false positives. So this is something we know the sonar is very noisy. Most sonar products tend to be noisy, but we focus a lot on improving that, making sure you don't get false positives. You can get from time to time, but they are not. They're very rare, to be honest. Like, we have several filters that make sure that no noise happens.
And updates?
Updates, yes, we send updates via the app, so no additional hardware is required. The only thing you are required to do is have the Sunu Band linked to your Sunu app, and as long as that there's a connection there, you'll receive the updates.
The next question is from Sandra Valencia. Hi, Sandra. We had your question translated for us as follows. Hello, very interesting, and I would like to know if an internet connection is needed in order to use this sonar outside.
Thanks, great question also. No, there's no need of having an internet connection. That's it. For the GPS features, you do need to have an internet connection.
Maybe I advance from the BlindSquare side. So yes, BlindSquare needs connectivity, but it also, I mentioned simulation earlier. So whenever you simulate your future location, let's say you are in a foreign country and you don't have data plan there, but you are in your hotel room with the Wi-Fi, you can use simulation to simulate your future locations, and BlindSquare will then download and cast the data, intersections and places there. So then when you go offline, you can still access information of the street names or track some places, etc. Or even use Sunu Band to call BlindSquare's look around feature and still get that information even if you are offline. So it is not black and white, but on a Sunu part, your main product is sonar with haptic feedback, and you learn to use it, and that is kind of, it works regardless where you are.
Here's a great question from Marcos Vincente. Simply, does it work in Spain?
Yes, it works everywhere. So yes, we have users in Spain, and even the ONCE, I believe they have some users there.
From Alberto from El Salvador. I would like to know if Sunu will someday be in my country. Thanks a lot for this information. It has been very great. Congratulations. And thanks for the compliment on that, Alberto.
Yeah, thank you, Alberto. So in El Salvador, right? I don't believe we have a distributor there. We do have in Peru, in our, not in Argentina, it was Uruguay, I believe. But if you know an organization who might be interested there, just let them know about the Sunu Band. We do pilots. We're happy to onboard you on Sunu and provide probably some units to test and potentially have some distribution partnership.
A follow-on question from Sandra. It doesn't matter. I would like to know its price if it's available in Latin America. So that's a a wide sweeping Latin American?
It is pretty much available everywhere in the world, but we ship from the US. So if we're shipping to other countries, you might need to pay for important fees. So yes, you can access that in Latin America. That said, we do have some distributors in Latin America, in Mexico, in Uruguay. I believe in Argentina as well. I need to make sure about that, and Peru. But again, if there's anyone here who knows an institution or probably like a local distributor or reseller, please let us know, and we're happy to reach out and see if we can get the Sunu Band in your country.
Through Jose Vieira, the CEO of WBU, we're doing some active work in Argentina, so we could expand that discussion to Argentina specifically, but we have a broad interest in Latin America, so it's a very timely question. Another question, have you thought about using Braille in this bracelet? I think it could also help tell the time. So that's to two of you, first Marco and then Ilka. On the BlindSquare side, we do support the use of refreshable Braille display, but Marco, can you take that first, and then Ilka?
Yes, so we have thought about Braille in the past, so right now we found it was easier to provide like time information using the watch. I mean the vibrations alone. It's very fast. The thing about Braille is that in order to, having a device that makes sense for the user, you need to have enough cells so you can read probably a sentence at the least, because a word maybe not efficient enough. So it's hard to have enough Braille cells in a small device. So that was probably the reason why we opted out. But we're waiting for better technology that can help us provide that information in a tactile way.
Yeah, and in BlindSquare, we do support all Bluetooth connected Braille displays, and what it means that you can. We have deafblind users. Let's start from there. So you really can read what BlindSquare is saying from the Braille display, but we also support typing in letters with Braille. So first of all, if Braille display is having a keyboard, we have command line interface. So you type in commands like add place bus stop, add place bus stop 300. So then it will record your location with the name bus stop and set its alerting distances to 300 meters. So next time you get closer than 300 meters, it is warning you about the bus stop. So I think Braille is covered that way, but I think it wouldn't make sense to have Braille display in a Sunu device because the price would go up. It would probably be a couple hours battery life, etc., etc. So maybe we need to accept a couple of different devices for solving each side of the problem.
Very good. To vision impaired individuals who live in remote places where there's less connectivity, is the application still effective and accurate? What are the technical issues that the application faces this hinders when blind when it comes to mobility?
So let me jump in and talk about Sunu. So in terms of Sunu, for all the sonar features don't require connectivity because everything is embedded in the bracelet. So you can use all sonar detection features with ease, no problem if there's no connectivity really. It will be great if you can connect from time to time so you can receive the updates, so you can adjust your band and things like that, but it's not required. A constant connection is not required. That being said, for the GPS applications, you may have some challenges because they do require connectivity, at least on the Sunu side. But on the BlindSquare side, it seems that there's a good alternative there.
Yeah, and one of the reasons for our cooperation in BlindSquare side, we want more remote controlling features, and we want to help that last 5 meters situation, etc., etc. And there are some similar features on Sunu application. There is look around, but you can also use Sunu to launch look around from the BlindSquare, or where I am feature from the BlindSquare. So whatever features you prefer, and then on a BlindSquare side, some data might have been cached. So in offline situation, you then can control BlindSquare's feature and not to use Sunu's feature. And like I said, Sunu is hardware product that its main purpose is that radar, sonar that is working all the time. And that is something that when you learn to use it, learn how to detect object with that, how to detect if it's car or a person, then with that skill, you can advance.
Sorry about that. The battery died on my headset. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Elizabeth, Arlene, good afternoon. Are there any apps that do not use data?
So in Sunu case, all the sonar features don't use data. Also, like the haptic watch, as long as it's connected to the phone, your phone has the right time, it works. Phone finder feature as well, gestures as well. Let me think. That's pretty much it. Like everything related to GPS may require data.
Thank you.
Yeah, and on the BlindSquare side, some of the GPS features doesn't need data. So for example, if you have stored your current location and then you want to track it, so tracking means that you will then get information that your meeting restaurant where you are meeting your friend is 30 meters, 3 o'clock, etc., etc. So it knows the coordinate where you are, it knows where it is, and it can instruct in which direction it is.
They're asking Marco if you can add the email address and the name of the distributor in Africa. Also, quote from Leon here in Asia.
Yeah.
Might it be better to just have the inquiries come to the company generally, and then you can respond in dialogue with the specifics?
Okay. Yeah, I'll do. Okay, so should I like reply directly to the person who asked that? So let me see. So the time I see a question here in Spanish. If you can also say the time with voice. Yes, it does tell the time with voice. You can decide whether you want to tell the time with voice, with vibrations, or with both. That's it. The Sunu Band doesn't have a speaker, so the voice will come out of your phone. So as long as you have like a Bluetooth headset or you know your earbud, you will hear the time through voice. And in regards to distributor in Spain, we currently don't have a distributor in Spain. There are some regulations that need to be met in order for saying that, but as long as we can get a partnership or a distribution partner there, we are happy to talk and figure out how to bring the Sunu Band to Spain. That being said, we have many users from Spain who has purchased the product from the US. In Africa, okay, so the message now. In Asia, we currently don't have. No, it's not Asia. No, we currently don't have distributors in Asia. Well, no, now that I mentioned it, we do have in Japan. It's a university in Japan, but that's probably the only way. I'm gonna ask in the meantime to see if we have more distributors over there, but I'm certain we do have in Japan.
There was a question, and I quote from Liliana, due to spatial issues on spatial orientation inside retail stores, do you ever thought about implementing this as a service rather than as a service regarding fashion brands?
Spatial issues.
I don't understand that question.
Me either.
Yeah, I wasn't clear on that. So, Marco, I think concerning some of these questions where they're looking for distributors in El Salvador, Portugal, Africa, Asia, all very valid questions. If you could just state your email address, and then the parties can email you on that topic and you can respond in specific terms.
That's great. Yes, please, for all your questions regarding how to get your Sunu Band, please send them over to hello@sunu.com. Just write down that in the chat. And our customer support and sales team is right now available for receiving calls or answering your questions.
Questions that we asked earlier, what options will be available for existing Sunu Band users? So someone that has a Sunu Band now who may be interested in the wedding of the BlindSquare cool tech as well.
Okay, so for existing Sunu Band users, we are offering to purchase the BlindSquare from the Sunu app at a $10 or $9.99 price. So this is a great opportunity because usually BlindSquare is priced at $40 in the US. So because of this partnership that we did, you can get it $10 in case you are a Sunu Band user.
And the companion to that is what options will be available for existing BlindSquare users who want to advance with the Sunu Band cool tech.
And for BlindSquare users, we also have a great deal for you guys, and you can get the Sunu Band at $269. So that's a 10% discount just for being a BlindSquare user.
And the last question I have asked from earlier, what's next with Sunu and BlindSquare? We're listening.
Okay, you wanna go? Ilka?
Yeah, actually, when I saw on your presentation that you have that finger pointing feature, I would love to connect that to BlindSquare. So in BlindSquare, we have a look around feature that basically when you turn your device into some direction, it will start by describing closest intersections, and then it finds from that sector what are the most important categories. So if there are restaurants, it will start by listing restaurants, and then it picks three the most interesting ones and tell them by distance, etc. So it gives description of what's on that direction in a really nice way. So could we have a feature that when you point with your Sunu Band, user could select that, send that information to BlindSquare, where the hand is pointing, and then BlindSquare will tell that information from that direction.
Cool. We're getting questions again about, can you please post the email address? I just want to know that the email address is already posted in the chat window. But Marco, you'll see there's kind of a long thread at I think it's 11:06 in Spanish, I believe. Can you have a look at that? And
let me see. Wow.
Yeah, thank you for asking
11:26. Sorry. Can you see that?
Yes. So okay. I see it's a person interested in distributing the product in Spain. Thank you for your interest. Okay, I have your email now, and someone from our sales team will be speaking to you soon.
Excellent. We had some really great questions here, and thank you for all who are complimenting this incredible work and your interest in for your personal use, but in particular for your countries. I think that's great. Just as a wrap up here, first Marco and then Ilka, is there anything that you'd like to add to this session?
Sure. Well, I'll probably say finally that what is happening today, it's very important, and I believe that this should happen more often. That great companies, leading companies in the space of assistive technology are partnering and working together. It's really a small market, and the problem is huge. So there's no reason why we should be, competing with each other that much. Like, we should be partnering together and try to solve these problems. And today, I think we have a great example of how BlindSquare and Sunu are working together to serve the same community. I encourage you guys to give us a try, because that's the best way to support us, pretty much. Just give us a try, give us your honest feedback, and we'll do the best to serve you and have the best technology for you.
There was one other question I just wanted to pose now. What's the bracelet made of? And I want to expand that by noticing that the bracelet uses a standard watch band. So if you want to put a Gucci watch band on it, you can certainly do that. But go ahead, Marco.
Yeah, you can. It uses a standard strap watch of 20 millimeters, but it is made of. So it's TPU, so it's a plastic that is resistant to hard weather, and it's also hypoallergenic. So it's, if you have any type of skin allergy, it's okay to wear the Sunu Band. It's safe. And the sonar sensor, it's a metal piece. Thank you, Ilka, for showing it on the screen. And it's pretty much it. Yes, the sonar sensor has it's made of metal, and it has also metal mesh. So this is, to have because this is exposed to the environment, so it's important that it is resistant.
Ilka, I'm going to turn to you now just for your closing thoughts.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for Worldwide Union to let us give this presentation, and what Marco said about doing cooperation or even co-development, it is really what I think all companies in such a narrow space should do. And then last is kind of techie version of I want to congratulate Mark of inventing this kind of system, because we all know how this problem has tried to be solved with 3D cameras that are expensive. And even if you have 3D image of environment, how do you describe that information? And this is kind of such a simple idea that let's use something to detect something that in front of you and detect distance, and then detect hardness of the object, and then just vibrate that, and then you can use your own hand to scan your environment. And that means that it is something you need to learn to use. So to detect car, you need to know how to kind of know from the vibration what it is. But when you do that, I think this is excellent, and even better than trying to describe information from the 3D camera.
Thank you, Ilka. I appreciate that.
And Marco, recognizing that this event is held in Spain, we have a high Spanish population in this audience. But just to confirm, you do offer support of the Spanish language, not only for the interface, but also with your support team. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yes. All our team, well, most part of the team speaks fluent Spanish and English. So yes, we do support Spanish and I think Italian as well.
We're getting some very nice compliments from the audience, and thank you so much. For us, it's been a pleasure. It started out being, and we hope it's ending being, as a good example of high tech and how it can be change making for the people we serve, frankly. And Marco, you may want to review the chat session thereafter. A number of people are providing email addresses and requests for follow-ups. But again, every opportunity for those who correspond with you to open additional dialogue or to reach out to us at support@BlindSquare, BlindSquare.com. Marco and Ilka, thank you so much for this, and to the WBU and the team supporting this end to end. It's just been a great experience for us.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rob and Ilka and WBU. Thank you for having us here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.